Hey guys, NES Evolution here. Just doing a little talking video today about the 90s and one of the biggest stars in the 90s. Really, a guy that's legend has grown over time, I feel like, and that is the great Chris Farley. This is actually a shirt I just purchased not so long ago. Well, Lottie frickin' da. I actually just purchased this, like I said, recently. I also purchased a couple other things. But let me give you a back story here. So, of course, he joined SNL in 1990. And Chris Farley probably was on my radar, I would say, not until Tommy Boy came out, because in the early 90s, in the mid 90s even, I didn't watch SNL. I just didn't. I might have seen him on a couple of things, but maybe I didn't recognize who he was, because I know he was on Roseanne like once or twice, and stuff. So like I probably saw him on there because we watched Roseanne all the time. But nothing that registered. Then when Tommy Boy came out, when it came out on home video, we had it. So I didn't see it in the theater, but I heard people talking about it. So we went and bought it, and it was really funny. And I was like, man, this guy's awesome. So then, of course, I wanted to know more about Chris Farley. So like rented, I don't know if they had like the best of Chris Farley out then or something. Maybe that was after his passing. I have no idea. But I remember being a big fan of his, though, because then me and my sister, we watched Black Sheep. We like that, even though that's not as funny. I rewatched that recently, and I just feel like, I don't know, there's something off about Black Sheep. It just doesn't have the magic of Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy is his best film. I mean, because his acting is really good in that movie. Like, dramatic, even. I mean, the guy can do dramatic roles. I felt like he could do something serious. Yeah, he's the clown. You know, his whole thing was Fatty falls down, funny, or whatever it is. But, I mean, in my opinion, the guy had a big talent. And it didn't just rely on him falling down and being goofy. He could seriously act if he wanted to, and you could tell that by Tommy Boy in the serious moments of the movie. You connect with this guy. Yeah, he had a big impact on me, and like I said, tried to watch as much Chris Farley stuff as I could. I did high school like acting classes and stuff, not acting classes, like the classes like drama class, and I would do like a character that was somewhat like Matt Foley and different things, and I would do stuff kind of like Chris Farley because I was, was a big kid and stuff, or still am, and yeah, so like that, I channeled that. Like at a church thing, I did the Matt Foley character. It was really funny, like a church thing that we had when we were teenagers. But yeah, I mean, he had a big impact on me. And like his stuff, I always would say his catchphrases: "Holy shnikes," "Van Down by the River," "Lottie frickin' da." And as time went on, I didn't watch as much of his movies like I used to and different things. But I would say in the last couple years, I've been thinking more about Chris Farley, and especially in the last year, I've been thinking a lot about it. And that song that Adam Sandler did, Chris Farley, that thing it's awesome. It's great. It's great live. I would love to see it live. And I've looked up like a ton of interviews of like people like Chris Rock, Tim Meadows, Adam Sandler, David Spade, talking about Chris Farley. And it's just been really good just to hear all the good things. I know the guy had addiction issues and eventually succumbed to the addiction. And I remember sitting downstairs in our like area that me and my sister would hang out in. And they had like a TV for us, and then my parents had like a living room. And I remember sitting there in 97, and on MTV News came up and said, the actor Chris Farley was found dead today or something. And I was like, what? Like, really? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was a big fan of the Beverly Hills Ninja too, the movie that he did. But I just couldn't believe it. At that time I didn't know he had drug issues and stuff like that. I'd never heard any of that at that age. In '97, I would have been like 13 or 14, probably like 13. But yeah, I mean, so the guy had addiction issues and he could not overcome them. He was surrounded by people that didn't want him to overcome those, and sadly, that's the people he chose to hang around with. So. But, we can still keep his legend alive for the things that he did that were great. You know what I mean? So I picked up this sticker for my car, and it says, well, lottie frickin' duh. So there's that. Funny. This is my favorite one, though. It says, in a van down by the river. I love it, man. He idolized Jim Belushi, and he actually died at the same age as Jim Belushi, and didn't, and also died of a drug overdose. It's sad, but like I said, these other guys help keep Chris Farley's memory alive, I feel like. And that if he was still here, he'd be making movies with Adam and Spade and Rock and all that, and he would have been all in that mix, man. Every time I watch Grown Ups, it kills me because I know Kevin James's role, even though Kevin James did all right in the role, that's Chris Farley's part, man. 100% that part's for Chris Farley. And yeah, so like I said, a lot of memories of renting his movies at Blockbuster and just being so entertained by this man that did a lot and actually did never really think he was that funny. So, he had confidence issues. There's just a lot going on with Chris Farley. And, just wish someone could have got through to him so he could still be here today, But besides that, we can laugh at his sketches and from Saturday Night Live, his TV appearances, his guest appearances, and things. Him being on like the David Letterman show or Conan or something. Those are freaking hilarious, guys. You guys should seek those out on YouTube. They're funny. And yeah, just always will remember them. Thank you, Chris Farley.